Oh, I've got so much to do. I gotta get these books put away.
What you doing, Miss Bev?
Ah, I've got so much work to do and so little time to get it done in.
You're as busy as a bee.
A bee. Hey, here's a book about bees. Let's sit down and read it.
Hi guys, today we're going to read a book by Ian Beck. It's called The Happy Bee. Every morning, the little bee flew from flower to flower. Look how pretty they are. Look at that cute little bee. Hello, Daisy. And he's saying hello to the daisies. This is a daisy flower. Goodbye, Daisy. Hello, Rosie. These are roses. They're beautiful. Goodbye, Rosie. Hello, Poppy. Look how beautiful and bright and red the poppies are. Goodbye. Goodbye, Poppy. Hello, Lily. Goodbye, Lily. What do you think the little bee is doing? He's visiting all these flowers. Sometimes the wind blew. Poor little bee. Look, he's trying to fly in the wind. Sometimes the sun shone. Pretty. Sometimes it rained. Look at that. He's hiding under a leaf. Sometimes the sun shone and sometimes it rained all at the same time. Who's ever been to see that? And look at this. Who's seen a rainbow? Hello, rainbow. That is beautiful. And that made the little bee very happy. Look how happy he looks. Bzz. And that's the end of the bee story. Wasn't that nice?
That was a really cool book, but I wish we could see some real bees at work.
We can. Miss Melissa, show us your bees.
Yes, that would be a great idea.
Hello, we're going to look at the bees today and see what they are doing. So first we lift the lid. Maybe you want to come closer and stand behind me. So if you look here, you can see the bees. We have a screened cover on the top so I can go and peek at them without actually having to go into the hive. And so here the bees are really, really busy, and today we're adding another box on top so they have more room to grow, which means they'll have more room to make honey. So if you look, the bees are super calm, which is good. Can I come close to you? And so if you look on this side, all of this they are capped babies in there. And so if you look real close, you can see there's little white larvae in those open holes. And so the ones that are covered now have more mature larvae. So they're almost ready to go and hatch. And this one here with her little hiney sticking out, she's feeding the babies. And then around the edge where all the bees are here clustered, that's all honey. And so they will take that honey and they will feed the larva as the larva is developing. And so you have lots of baby bees getting ready to hatch there. And if you look at the other side, same thing on this side. Lots of baby bees. So we're going to put that back in. We're just inspecting these. And so what we're getting ready to do, we're going to add another box. And so this is called foundation. They build the foundation out with wax. And so they'll build it out and it'll look something like this. And then that's where they lay their eggs and also put pollen and honey for us to take. So we go and just set this right on top. So it's like putting an addition onto your house. So now they have a whole lot of extra room to go and expand. And then we're going to put our screened cover back on. I'm going to make them a little mad. We're going to shake them down in. Ready to go. And so then we'll check back in a couple weeks to see what they're working on. So as you can see on this frame on this side, you can see the black foundation, but then you can see them building the comb out and see how they're all nice regular shapes. They're all the same hexagons, 6-sided shapes. They're very regular, very almost mathematical with how they build that out. All of them are the same size and shape. And then you see the little yellow inside some of them, that's all pollen that they've been collecting from the flowers. And now when we flip this over on the other side, notice how this looks very different from the capped brood, the larva. This is all capped honey. So here in the center, that's uncapped, so it's almost finished honey. They go and dehydrate, they make the water evaporate out, and then when it's all done and it's the right consistency, they go and they seal it. They put a lid on it. And so this one will be ready to go and pull and extract in another week or two. The inner cover, covered with bees. Want to look to see what they've got. Maybe some capped honey. Nice and heavy. And so here you can see they're starting to cap the honey again. And if you can see the shiny that's in there, that's all honey as well. And so the bees are just working it over, helping to dry it out. So here, if you look, you can see the queen bee. This one's nice because she's marked with a little blue dot. But if you look at the size of her, she's about 2, almost 3 times longer than all of the other honeybees around her. And her job is to lay the eggs in the hive.
Seeing all those hardworking bees makes me hungry for honey. So let's make a yummy honey snack called Honey Nut Cheerio Bites. You will need a 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter, a 1/4 cup of honey, 2 cups of Honey Nut Cheerios or any other dry cereal that you may have, a 1/3 cup of mini chocolate chips, but then add some extras in there so we can put them on top. That makes it yummy. Then you will need parchment paper or wax paper is what I'm using today. You'll need an 8x8 pan and a mixing bowl. Okay, let's get started. You want to line your pan with the parchment paper and then just start adding all your ingredients together. That looks so good. It's really hard to stir, but keep at it. Mix it all together. ready, go ahead and put that in the pan. Just press it down. Doesn't that look yummy? Okay, and then let's add more chocolate chips on top. All right, there you have them. You want to put those in the refrigerator until they get firm, and then you will cut them into small bite-sized bars. So enjoy.
Squeaks and I are enjoying a beautiful day outside the fort. Oh look, there's a bee! Oh, it landed on that flower! Let's watch and see what it does. We'll get a little closer, but not bother it. There it goes, buzzing off to find another flower. You know, bees are some of my favorite animals to watch. They always seem so busy. But do you ever wonder what they do all day? You might already know that bees are insects, like ants and beetles. Like all insects, bees have 6 legs and 3 body parts. In bees, these body parts are often brown or yellow, and sometimes they're striped with both colors. Bees also have 4 wings. When their wings move back and forth fast enough to make them fly, they make a buzzing sound that we think of when we hear the word bee. And there's another part of the bee that you've probably heard about: the stinger. But not all bees have stingers, and the ones that do don't sting unless they have a really good reason to, like when they're frightened, or to protect themselves, or to chase other animals away from their nest. There are lots of different kinds of bees, but the 2 kinds that you've probably seen most often are bumblebees and honeybees. Bumblebees are easy to spot because they're big and fluffy. Honeybees are a little smaller and don't look like they're covered in fuzz the way bumblebees do. Both kinds of bees make honey, but bumblebees only make a little, while honeybees produce a lot of that sweet, sticky stuff. And both kinds of bees also live in big groups, inside nests that we call hives. Do you want to see inside a honeybee hive? Let's have a look. This bee is the queen. No, she doesn't wear a crown, but she does have a really important job. She stays in the hive all day and lays eggs. Lots of them. After 3 or 4 days, these eggs will hatch and eventually grow into adult honeybees. Most of the other bees that live in the hive are workers. And worker bees? Yep, Squeaks, they do almost all the work. There are lots of jobs for them to do, like helping to build the hive and keeping the hive clean. But their main job, the one that they do almost all of the time, is to look for food. That's what the bee that we saw was doing. She was getting food from that flower. When a worker bee lands on a flower, she drinks a sweet juice from the inside of the flower. This juice is called nectar. While she's on the flower, the bee also brushes up against the yellow dust that the flower makes. This dust is called pollen. So while she's gathering nectar, the bee also gets covered with pollen as she moves around on the flower. When the bee has as much nectar and pollen as she can carry, she flies back to the hive. She feeds some of the nectar and pollen to the baby bees and to the queen, and then she turns most of the nectar into honey. Bees fly back and forth all day collecting nectar and pollen from flowers and taking it back to the hive. When it gets dark, they go back to the hive and rest, and then they're up early the next morning to start again. If you've ever heard the expression, busy as a bee, now you know why we say that. So if you see a bee, you don't have to be afraid of it, but do leave her alone and give her lots of room to get her work done. And that work includes more than making honey. It has something to do with pollen. Next time, we'll see why when you bite into a delicious apple, you should thank a bee. Thanks for joining us on SciShow Kids. Do you have a question about insects or flowers or anything else? If so, get help from a grown-up and let us know. You can leave us a comment below or send us an email to kids@thescishow.com. And we'll see you next time here at the fort.
Now bumblebee bookmark. You will want to print out the bumblebee template in the description so that you can have your shapes that you need. This is foam, or you can use construction paper, whatever you have. So you will need yellow to cut out his face and his stripes. You will need black and cut out 2 antennas and his body. And you will need white to cut out his 2 wings. You will need a craft stick, and you will need yellow and black marker. So let's start with the marker. And you just want to do like little stripes, color it in. And you only have to do half of the stick. Okay, so then you want to go ahead and put some glue on your stick. Okay, and the body goes there, and the head goes there. And I'll put your stripes on. And then the wings, you have to flip him over. The wings go here on the back. Then you want to draw his face. And then put some glue at top for his antennas. Okay, there you have it. You want to let it sit so it will dry, and then you will be able to put it in a book. Have fun!
Wow, that's a beautiful bookmark. Check out this fun 30-day outdoor activity calendar. We have already checked some activities off. Now it's your turn. Print it out and have fun. I hope you enjoyed learning about bees with us. Please post a picture or leave us a comment on Instagram at MTLibrary121 and on Facebook at Milton Public Library, Milton, Delaware. You can use the hashtag MiltonPLDESRP. These Honey Nut Cheerio Bites are so yummy.
They are so good. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to look out for this program's book recommendations.
And join us next Monday for Let's Face It.
Bye!